Greetings, Earthlings. Hi. Welcome to my Borderlands cosplay tutorial. My name is Mia, also known as Obscured Illusions, and I'm gonna show you how I went from sketching myself as a psycho to completing the full cosplay. I'm hoping it'll be a nice guide for you to create your own cosplay. If you're interested in that, stay tuned, and like or comment this video if you find it helpful. Now let's get into it. So first, I start off sketching my weapon. I chose a butcher knife. I taped together 2 pieces of cardstock so that it was big enough. The psychos always have these gnarly little spikes coming out of their weapons, so I factored in where those were gonna go as well. And then I inked my sketch and cut it out so that I could trace it onto EVA Foam. My EVA foam wasn't very thick, so I traced it, flipped it, traced it again, and then cut it out with a box cutter. After that, I glued both pieces together with E6000. So I lightly put little register marks here, and I numbered each part of the butcher knife to use as a guide. And I cut out each piece and traced it onto even more foam. So we're gonna have each piece twice, one for each side of our knife. This is a much thinner EVA foam at 2mm per sheet. Now we cut out each piece, one for each side. Puzzle time! Now we put everything where it needs to go and glue it down with E6000. This actually ended up being way flimsier than I'd like, so you see me shoving BBQ skewers in to make it nice and sturdy. I should have done this step before gluing everything together. And now I'm cleaning up the edges to make it nice and even. The base of our prop is done. And now for the wood glue. The wood glue needs to be applied 2 to 3 coats per side. So you see me here coating the first side of the wood glue, and we have to let that dry before we can do the other coats. While that's drying, we can make our spikes out of air dry clay. These need to be coated 2 to 3 times as well. Once the wood glue is dry, we prime for painting. Looking good. Paint time. This part is really fun for me. I went to school and learned how to paint, and I haven't done it in forever, so it was nice to use this acrylic paint and try to make everything look bloody and rusty and kind of used and beat up. And of course, we let it dry and do the exact same thing on the other side. And we mustn't forget to paint our spikes. Ta-da! When it was dry, I sealed it all with Mod Podge, and I added this little fuzzy foam to the handle, and I think it gave it a really nice touch. So when it came to 3D printing the mask, I actually don't own a 3D printer. Shout out to Greg, who graciously offered to print it for me. We got the design from Thingiverse, which I'll link into the description box. If you don't own a 3D printer or know anyone, you could actually look into your public library. I was shocked to find there's several here in LA. And of course, if you have the funds, you could just buy the mask. Once you have the print in hand, you put it together, sand it, and prime it for painting. I chose to freehand paint this, which I know not everyone can do, but practice makes perfect, and I just printed out some references and copied what I saw. I took my time here and I drew out the details with a pencil first, and then I used a paint pen and a brush pen to do all the line work, and on top of that I finished it all with acrylic paint. And when I was done, I used that Mod Podge spray to seal it off with 2 to 3 coats, and it looked so good. We attempted to add LEDs, but I broke them. I got these glasses from the dollar store, disassembled them, and glued them into the eye sockets. I love the way this mask turned out. So I bought what I thought were orange pants off eBay. Turns out they were coral. So I ended up lightening them with bleach and dyeing them orange with grit dye. And shockingly, it came out pretty good. I bought this standard white tank top from Target for like $5, and then I got some acrylic paint and painted on the details. I really love the style of Borderlands with the harsh black lines and highlights, and I think this really makes the outfit come together. Almost done, just need to add some holes in the tank top and add the little accessories. And voila! This was a very last minute idea. I only had a week to do it, and it ended up being so much fun. I want to challenge myself to do more stuff like this, so stay tuned. Bye!